The pop genre applied to my music video. My music video, Guns and Horses by Ellie Goulding, uses many typical conventions of the pop genre. Nicholas Abercrombie stated that television producers set out to exploit genre conventions and that producers reuse typical conventions of the particular genre in their music videos so that the audience become used to them and familiar with them. I've made sure to replicate typical pop genre conventions to create this exact effect. Firstly, my music video uses both narrative and performance-based footage, so I made sure to use a love story narrative as well as a performance which holds typical pop ideology, as the majority of pop videos include some sort of narrative along with performance shots. The effect of using performance in my music video is so that it conveys a sense of in-concert experience to the audience, as said by Firth 1988, and it reminds the viewer that the soundtrack is still important. As well as this, my actress reminisces the narrative flashbacks to refining props that link with them in the performance, and it tells the audience that she has actually been through heartbreak, therefore making it more effective. However, the effect of a narrative storyline is that it develops meaning to the lyrics that the audience can pay attention to, and it adds an emotional attachment to the music video, giving readers an insight from the outside looking in. Not the readers, the viewers. The main protagonist, female, Georgina, is both the actress in the narrative and the artist performing to the audience. The effect of this is that the audience can appreciate both the song itself being sung by the artist and be able to empathise and understand her in narrative ways. So that's my performance side and that's my narrative side. My music video also uses the mode of effect, as it assumes that my young teenage target audience will appreciate the love storyline, and as the producer I've assumed that most teenagers have been through what I convey in my... Also, the structure of my music video functions like a mini-film. It uses flashbacks throughout, especially in the choruses, to trigger an emotional reaction from the audience, as it's bringing back previous moments from the couple's relationship. My music video is very structured, with specifically 5 different stages of a relationship portrayed throughout, beginning from the couple's first date and ending with the acceptance of their breakup. And this makes my music video very clear to understand and perhaps quite cliche, but a common feature of the pop genre. So these are the different stages of my music video. You can have like the first date, and the comfortable stage, and the breakup, etc. Also, it uses a pop genre fashion ideology. So it follows many typical conventions of the pop genre fashion-wise. I followed a pop genre ideology because I believe this is how it would most appeal to my target audience. My main protagonist is represented in a fashionable girly and casual clothes, so that there's a variety in her image to portray unpredictability, but also the female viewers may perhaps look up to her and see her as a role model. Many pop genre music videos have a main female protagonist who is fashionable to trigger this successful effect. Furthermore, I've made sure that both of my actors wear a variation of different outfits in each stage to ensure that it sustains the audience's interest. And I've ensured that their outfits fit the context. For example, in a restaurant they were more glamorously dressed, compared to when they were at home they were dressed casually in like a tracksuit, etc. This is so that the music video is realistic to watch, being another typical convention of pop music videos, as they often fit in with real life so that the audience can actually believe them, which triggers a more understanding response from the viewers. Georgina's outfits in particular also match the emotion within each stage. For example, when on their date, Georgina wears a red dress to signify the passion she feels for Matt. In contrast, there's like a lot of contrast between my main characters, so that their characteristics stand out as a couple, and I made sure that my male actor Matt wore more masculine clothes in the music video. And this uses the idea of binary opposites by Levi Strauss, which again is a very common convention in pop music videos. Furthermore, the effect of this is that when Matt rejects Georgina in the storyline, the audience may feel even more sympathy for Georgina, as Matt's image is masculine and hard, compared to Georgina who's soft and sensitive, which emphasises her heartbreak and vulnerability when they split. My music video also uses the dancing and the distraction factory by Andrew Goodwin theory. For my music video to appeal to the target audience even more so, I used shots including pieces of technology that teenagers often use, such as mobile phones, laptops, tablets. I used Andrew Goodwin's Dancing in the Distraction Factory theory, of frequent reference to Notion of Looking, where I filmed Georgina as she looks at Matt's phone within the distrust stage, for example. Like Goodwin said, it's almost like a screen within screen effect. I also used his postmodern theory of intertextual reference, where I made reference to a BlackBerry, for example, because I knew the viewers would recognise these aspects.
Quiet.
Do what? So this is like an example of where I've used technology. She's looking at Matt's phone. Okay. So also, I've used a relationship between the music and the visuals, which is another one of Andrew Goodwin's theories. In many pop music videos, there's a relationship between the soundtrack and the visuals, so that the soundtrack is also apparent in technical codes, as said by Andrew Goodwin. For example, during the build-up of the couple's relationship, time is stretched to intensify and grow on drama, and the shots go quite slowly. However, when the soundtrack begins to fasten up at the choruses near the middle or end, this is when the distrust or argument stages come in, and the shots fasten to match the rhythm and the beat of the song. In pop music videos, shots commonly match the rhythm of the music video so that they are in sync and it's comfortable for the audience to watch. Also, the lighting on the happy shots of the couple's first dates and their comfortable or in-love stage are high key to represent happiness and lightheartedness, which is what many pop music videos replicate. However, when things start to go wrong and Georgina gets rejected, the lighting instantly becomes low key, and like I mentioned, the shots fasten up to represent her frustration and overwhelming emotion. I also used a slow motion effect on shots such as where the couple push each other and argue, which makes the shots seem dramatic and emotional. And to go in sync further with this falling apart of their relationship, I used shots that signify Georgina's entrapment and hurt through the performance side, where she becomes lost in the woods, frantically attempting to escape, and this creates the effect that she's encaged behind her own emotion, with different props constantly reminding her of flashbacks. And pop music videos usually use like many subliminal symbols throughout their music, which make it intriguing for audiences to figure out the symbols' meanings. And I use the slow motion shots of my friend Jessica doing her gymnastics, and the ribbon she uses represents Georgina's flowing of emotion. So as we can see here, there's a true relationship between music and visuals and signifiers of emotion like other pop music videos. I also use many close-up shots of Georgina's face, as this allows the audience to relate with her more and it adds a more personal feel and exemplifies her emotion. And as Goodwin stated, it emphasises her star image, which is a consistent aspect throughout pop music videos. Lastly, to go with the acoustic guitar in the song, I used many shots of nature, especially at the start of the music video, and throughout all of the performance has been filmed in the woods. And this highlights that there's a correlation between the music and the visuals, because if my music video is filmed in like clubs and high streets, for example, then like the acoustic guitar would not match with it at all. There's a relationship between the lyrics and the visuals, which is another aspect of Andrew Goodwin's theory. I do this throughout my music video. For example, when my actress is getting ready for her first date with Matt in the narrative, the lyrics state, "I left my house, left my clothes," and at this exact time, Georgina puts on her jacket and exits her house to go and meet Matt. Overall, my coursework music video has a clean morale element to it, as firstly, it represents females as angelic, innocent and traditional, as she's covered up in my music video and she isn't presented as overtly sexual. Furthermore, it hints the idea to the audience that too much is revolved around relationships nowadays and that most relationships involve texting, etc. doesn't always work out. Therefore, there's a hidden meaning to my music video. This is quite conventional of the pop genre, as many pop videos present an idea underneath so that you can learn from it, either through the lyrics or the narrative. And lastly, my music video uses an equilibrium, which is thought by Todorov. And in the most narrative-based pop music videos, there's usually an equilibrium and then a new equilibrium or resolution at the end, as stated by Todorov. The resolution at the end usually leaves the audience feeling satisfied, as everything's been solved after such a build-up. I applied this aspect to my music video, as at the end of my music video, my main actress finds her way out of the woods, and after all of the flashbacks, she smiles as if she's ready to move on. and this creates a satisfying feeling for the audience. Okay, the narrative of my music video, Guns N' Horses by Ellie Goulding. If I can flip too much. My music video to Guns N' Horses for my coursework by Ellie Goulding uses many different aspects to create a postmodern, effective narrative. Firstly, the music video holds a linear narrative, which is each event happening from beginning to the end in chronological order. I base the narrative side of it in stages to make this very apparent. Very apparent. So these are the different stages of my music video. My music video is almost episodic, as it is both narrative and performance-based, flickering from the narrative storyline of a couple to performance shots of my actress miming to the camera. Okay. The effect of this is that it creates the idea that the audience are not only witnessing the love story for themselves, but they are also being shown the protagonist's point of view, which adds a more personal feel. It also keeps the interest of the audience, as it's showing a lot of variation. I created a strong distinction between the narrative and performance shots by adding an adjustment layer to the narrative shots, reducing the vibrancy of the colour. So you can see that simplified there. I've got like a pink adjustment layer. This is the performance side and that's the narrative side. It's been stated that creating a performance and narrative-based music video is very postmodern and allows variety. Also, the use of correlation between the lyrics and the visuals is another typical convention of a postmodern music video, and this is what my music video does. My music video also uses a restricted narrative where the audience know no more than the protagonist Georgina. The audience view the couple's relationship in stages and discover new information in the present. As well as this, the time and pace of my music video mainly exemplifies emotions presented. There are many shots used on the build-up of the couple's relationship in the majority of the music video, almost as if time is stretched to intensify and grow the drama. And a variety of shots are used to make sure that once the audience have entered the diegetic music video, they are consumed. Therefore, the audience get used to their relationship, witnessing their every conversation and feeling as if they know the couple themselves. This gives the audience a true insight on the couple's relationship and can almost grow to appreciate it, creating a larger effect when the relationship disrupts. And on the parts where the main protagonist Georgina is upset, I used extremely fast flickering shots to represent her overwhelming emotion and distraught, so that the audience empathises with her and can almost feel her emotion. However, on quite a few choruses I used fast shots of the couple's past memories that fade quickly into each other to create almost a nostalgic emotional feeling, reminding the audience of what things were like before they went wrong. There are also features of ellipsis where there are many gaps in the narrative in order to keep viewers interested. A prime example of this is when Georgina goes to meet Matt. We do not see her whole journey on the way there, we are just showing like some parts of her getting ready, because if you were to show the whole journey of her on the way, it would just lose the audience into interest. Irrelevant or boring parts should not be included so that it keeps an exciting appeal. And however, I've decided to go against one of Goodwin's typical conventions of a music video, which is voyeurism. Most music videos sexually exploit their female protagonists, however I've done the opposite to mine. I'm representing Georgina as an innocent, traditional feminine female who has natural makeup and mainly costumes that cover her up. This is because I want the audience to be able to sympathise for her towards the end, and when a female is represented in an overtly sexual way, female audiences find it harder to feel sorry for the female, so I'm making sure that my audience can engage with and empathise with Georgina.